Hi, I'm Chuck Lofton. Yes, it is yet another weather impact alert day here in not only central Indiana, but throughout the entire Midwest today because of these really cold temperatures. Our highs today only in the single digits, and of course with sub-zero temperatures too. Boy, what a day we've got out there. And if you've not been outside, certainly wear your warmest. You know, throughout the country, this has been quite the wintry day. Notice winter storm warnings not in Minnesota or Michigan, but in North Carolina, Georgia, northern Florida, the southern part of Mississippi and Alabama, and even a blizzard warning today for this area just west of New Orleans, including Thibodaux and Franklin, and a winter storm warning for New Orleans. You're right. I did say blizzard warning for the area around Lafayette, Louisiana. And the reason for that is because of 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts and then 3 to 6 inches of snow. And that sustained wind of 25 plus is going to be down there pretty much for another 4 to 6 hours in the area. Here we are with a decent looking day, certainly, but of course it is so cold. We've got this west-northwesterly breeze that's blowing over snowpack, and most of Indiana still has at least some snow on the grass and on some surfaces. And you'll notice here downtown in Indy at the American Legion Mall, we've got the snow covered there, and that's part of our factor of making downtown feel so cold. So let's talk about this weather impact alert. It's through Wednesday, 10 a.m., so, through tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning will be really cold, too. We're expecting sub-zero temperatures to kick off the day, and then wind chills from -10 to -20. But single-digit highs today, and then it'll be warmer tomorrow afternoon. But if you're headed out today, certainly dress in layers. What kind of layers? Several layers of loose-fitting clothing. You'll need those tomorrow. And keep in mind that today we had over 200 school delays, closings, or e-learning situations around central Indiana, and that was due primarily due to the cold. And today we have seen these wind chills between -15. I haven't seen a -20 yet, but I'm sure there has been one. And the frostbite, that's the big problem for exposed flesh out there. In 20 to 30 minutes, your exposed flesh, not covered with gloves or a hat or a scarf, you can get that frostbite. So again, please be careful. Now, if you really look at the core of our problem, this is it. This is snowpack. And it extends from portions of Tennessee through all of Indiana and then up to the Arctic Circle. We're getting this cold breeze as the jet stream dips to the south, and that's allowing that cold air to flow right over the snow, chills the air, and you're out there going, ay, ay, ay. In fact, as this cold air presses south today, it won't be as harsh tomorrow afternoon, but the biggest departure from normal for some areas, and that would be the areas where we have those winter storm warnings, and yes, the blizzard warnings from portions of Texas through Houston and then over to New Orleans. They're like 30 degrees plus below average. Here, that polar flow of the jet stream is allowing us to be cold. In fact, if we get up to 7 today, that means that our high today would be 29 degrees below average. That, for even January, is a rare feat, to be sure. All right, and as the kids head home from school today, remember, so many started late, and it's not because of temperatures, so much so that superintendents call for this a 2-hour delay. A lot of it has to do with road conditions, because when it gets this cold, especially on rural and county roads, everything refreezes that was wet. And so you can't see that. Buses can't see that in rural areas. So this afternoon, coming home, we'll be able to see anything. A cold breeze out of the west at 11, gusting to 20, but a high of only 7. Well, up at Purdue tonight, a huge game. Ohio State is a winner in football, but hopefully there'll be a loser in basketball tonight as the Boilermakers take them on. At tip-off tonight, big game, sellout, 7:30 in West Lafayette. Now, if you're going to that game, keep in mind that when you're walking on campus getting to Mackey Arena, it's really going to be cold. In fact, at 7 p.m., 3 degrees, and then after the tip, after the Boilermakers win, 0, but with sub-zero wind chills, and it's been really cold in West Lafayette today. In fact, the wind gusts have been to 20 miles per hour. This is a look through the day. We're expecting 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts. That just puts the chill in the air and makes it really brutal when you're outside. So we want you to really just be careful out there and take your time, dress appropriately. Now, let's talk about the next few days. And I do think we do have good news for you. Take a look at today, the Arctic air across much of the eastern part of the United States. And in fact, I would say over 3/4 of the United States. As we shift into tomorrow, watch how this polar flow of the jet lifts to the north. So yes, it's still going to be cold. Don't get me wrong, but it won't be as cold as it is today. We're going to be in the low 20s, then jumping to the upper 20s as we move on into Thursday. This temperate flow of air will finally start to move in, I would say, Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That time period is when things will get a lot better. Now, speaking of tomorrow, these are our forecast highs, only 22 here. But look to the west, and that warmer air is going to start to pull in. 34 in St. Louis, 35 in Kansas City, 32 in Des Moines. And I know that's cold, but it's a whole lot warmer than what we're experiencing now. And that warmer wedge of air is going to push off to the east. This is a look at Thursday. We bring it back up again. 28 degrees here for a high, 35 degrees down in Louisville, and Nashville will be back up into the 40s. Nashville, Tennessee, not Indiana. So things will get better as we move on in here. Friday's going to be cold, but we bounce back up on Saturday. So today, then, we do have sunshine out there, and it's a pretty day. It's also just pretty cold, and no amount of sunshine, really, folks, is going to offset this very cold breeze that we have out there. Today, there will be some lake effect snow, Muskegon, Benton Harbor, over towards Grand Rapids today, but I don't think that's going to move in here. What I am going to be watching for, and really the only chance for any snow moving in here, would be Thursday. Let me show you what Wednesday looks like. Again, we start out way below zero, 2 below zero. The wind chills could be between -10 and -20. But we're going to see the sun, and the wind will shift to the west-southwest. That means we'll get up into the low 20s, still cold but better than today, and then 28 as we move on into Thursday. And speaking of Thursday, yes, winds will shift, cloud deck, and flurries. Now, we will get some flurries here. I think more substantive snow, an inch or more from Gary, Munster, Whiting, Michigan City, over towards Amish country and Shipshewana, and then over towards Mishawaka, and much of the state of, or the lower peninsula of Michigan will see that snow on Thursday. Now let's bring you on into Thursday night. Things start clearing again, and then Friday looks kind of cold around here. So again, we have a weather impact alert day today. Our bitter cold high, only 7 degrees. But again, we're issuing this weather impact alert because we want you to be careful. Keep in mind that you need to limit outdoor activity if you can, and that frostbite is possible within 30 minutes of your being exposed to that flesh. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be bitter cold. I'll be here with you. Lindsay Monroe will be here with you in traffic. And we're going to talk about the fact that we're going to see those air temperatures drop below, not just the wind chills, but the air temperatures will drop below zero to about 2 below, with our wind chills -10 to -20. That wind is just going to be howling tomorrow. Fortunately, though, it shifts. 22 degrees, then on Wednesday, 28, with those flurries around on Thursday. If you're driving up to northern Indiana, Michigan line, maybe 1, maybe 2. I think some people across the border, like Coldwater, Michigan, see 3 inches of snow. Partly cloudy Friday and 25. And then this is a weekend that we're looking forward to. Saturday, a high of 35 degrees. Sunday, a high of 36. And we're up to 30 degrees on Monday. I'm Chuck Lofton. Thank you so much for watching us. And remember, weather impact alert day, probably until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going to have more for you throughout the day on our newscasts, also here at 13 Plus, WTAHR.com, and remember our social media platforms, Twitter and Facebook. We will have all these updates for you, especially on tomorrow. If we do have more school delays, we had 210 today. We're expecting more tomorrow. Have yourself a great day. Thank you for watching.